I was listening to something. Um, it was a conversation. I guess we're looking to go on their podcast. And the woman was talking, was saying that like when she was younger, I guess like when you're in your 20s and stuff like that, it's like she felt like she kind of wasted her younger years, with toxic men. And the guy that she was having a conversation with was like, when you're at that age, it's like you were in your prime, before the kid, before the weight gain, and before, like, he was like, but you gain like knowledge and stuff like that. But my thoughts on this is, why is it reversed? Why is it reversed? And not for nothing is it really reversed, because toxicity can also be staying in a relationship way too long, appeasement, feeling the need that you need to be validated and to be loved, when you should really be validating through yourself, through God, right? You should like love yourself, right, from the get-go. So I think it's theory two. Both people are toxic as fuck, right? It's however way you express your toxicity, because you can express your toxicity in having multiple, multiple people in your relationship with, rosters, manipulation, lying, cheating, stealing, whatever you're doing, right? And it can also be appeasement, staying there way too long. Attachment theory, like attachment problems. Um, I forgot the damn term. That's why I got stumped. Um, it's not attachment styles, but codependency. That's what I was looking for. Codependency. That's a major one. Clinginess. Um, not knowing yourself. Not knowing yourself enough to be able to love who you are. Not having that independence. And I think that I, for one, have like this, had this cycle, right? When I first met the person, full of confidence. Oh my God, the mask was up. I was ready to go. Okay? Fell in love with the person I was dating, fell in love with the image. Oh my God. How, you're this and you're that and you're this and da da da. And then, like, a month later, be like, girl, what the fuck? Like, who did I go out with, right? Because it goes away. Then it's just like, oh my God, I put on this whole show for you. And, I showed you all my best features. Love me. The toxicity in me has a roster, so no. Then it all, like, it goes away, it falls apart, right? But I didn't truly love myself. That was my toxic ass trait, right? Toxic out the wazoo. I was not dateable at those times. But for the women, for the young women that do love themselves and know themselves and truly are doing the damn thing, right? You are doing what God put you on this earth to do, and you do it well, baby, right? For those women, and they meet a guy that seems like Prince Charming, because nobody that is manipulative or a cheater or this or that, right? Or they do horrible things to people, they don't show who they are at first. They are the most charming and just lovable person. You fall in love with their image, right? And that's what I did. I literally put up an image the person could fall in love with. It's just that my toxic trait wasn't harming the other person. It was literally harming myself. But some people, their toxicity harms others to protect themselves. So this person's putting up a front, because that's the only way we're able to get in, right? And it's so sad I'm sitting here clumping myself up with this. But it's true, when it boils down to its true essence, you have to put up this type of screen, right? This type of facade. And then when a person really does get to know you, they see all your wounds and shit, and you're like, oh my God, you're like bleeding and shit. Oh my God, is that a broken bone? Is a bone sticking out? I think you bleed internally. This is too much for me. I gotta go. And somebody will see somebody else's toxic trait. Oh my God, you got like fucking 5 other girls you're talking to. Oh my God, you have a fucking disease. Oh my God, you have like 5 fucking kids I don't know about or whatever. Oh my God, you're this, you're that. It's the same formula. So why is it that what boggles my mind now is that now that we are, yes, talking about these topics, we are exploring these things, which is breakthrough, right? This is just like, wow, it's mwah, perfect, beautiful. What should I say? It boggles my mind because everyone has their journey. And when I was going through my journey, I was going through a huge grieving period. My grieving period would last for a long time in some people's eyes. It was like literally like a year and a half of grieving. And some people are like, that's way too long to grieve. Get out of that. And then some people are like, that's our process. That's our process. I know somebody that grieved for 10 years. Some people grieve all their lives. So I understand there's a process when it comes to learning the depths of an issue, getting to the root of a problematic situation, dilemma, a crisis, I would say, within our communities, intimate communities, right? Relationships and stuff like that. So I do understand that it is cohesive, but I'm very eager to see how this progresses and how far it progresses, and the length of time it does take for it to show progress. Go ahead and be saying that progression, because I'm waiting for it to get to the point where both parties take accountability and both people say, hey, I was toxic and you were toxic too. And I'm not going to focus on all the things that you did wrong. I'm not going to willingly say all the things that somebody did wrong, right? This is not a debate. And I think that's what the problem is. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to intimate relationships, even if it's platonic, and we're talking about the topic of relationships, the essence of relationships, right? You talk about your experiences, that person talk about their experience. We have a whole panel of people. But it's a conversation. When it comes to trauma, and trauma does not always have to be this most severe thing, right? Or it's just like, oh my God, this person is just like, like a deer stuck in headlights. This trauma can be very, very minute. It can be very subtle. And people don't think that just because you don't feel the sting, that doesn't mean that it was not traumatic. It doesn't mean that there's not poison running through the course of your veins. Maybe it's a very little bit of poison, but it's still in there. And you have to figure out a way to get the shit out your body. So when we get to the point where we're all having a discussion and not a debate, because when you have a debate, you're trying to win. You're trying to have more points and more supportive materials to make your argument cohesive, to make it the winning argument. This is not a debate. This is a conversation. This is an intimate conversation, and quite frankly, when we're talking about intimate relationships and how vulnerable and sensitive some relationships really are, it takes it is wise to take a note. It is noteworthy to approach it like a close friend. Having that empathy and that compassion and not putting the, you did this, you did that, you did this, right? Or you people. Imagine we took gender out of it and we put race. How we talk to each other will change. Because if I was talking to my brothers and I was like, well, you people do this and you people do that. Do you know how quick, how quick somebody will call me every kind of racist, every kind of prejudice? They literally would be like, get the fuck out my face, right? Real quick. So why is it like, you men do this and you men do that? I can easily, you blacks do this and you niggers do this. I can easily say that. It's true. So why do we generalize? Because we're doing the same thing as we do when it comes to race. You generalize, that's how stereotypes come into play, because you generalize a whole body of people to a negative connotation. So it's just like, oh, black people are lazy. And they'd be like, black people work fucking hard, yo. We work hard, motherfuckers. We work hard. Straight up. Am I saying like every single black person I know works hard? No, there's going to be somebody that is like, just so happens to be black and they're not. They don't work hard. And there's going to be black people that work harder than the whole entire New York City. Just like, yo, you deserve a medal. Right? So it gets to the point where we're just like, stop generalizing. And you have to get to a point of when you're having this conversation, you're pretty much storytelling, because we bring our experiences to the conversational piece. And when you're storytelling, do you really want to be the person that does the memoir and talks about everybody else? What was it? I forgot that. Who was that damn chick? Superhead. Was it Superhead? Super something, right? She spilled the beans on everybody. Okay, I'm an 80s baby, so I was like, I was born around that I wasn't born around that time, but, I was alive when it came out. Everybody was talking about it. It was just like, who was this chick? And we found out who she was. It was like, oh my God. So it was just like, oh my God. And some people actually read the goddamn book. I never got to read it. Never read it. But it was circling around when I was in high school. It was circling around. Everybody was talking about it. So it was just like, who she was. And she came over with a book, and she know that she spoke about everybody. She did a tell-all book, right? People that do a tell-all. My ship is going down. I'm bringing everybody else down. Do you really want to be the person in the conversation that's doing the tell-all book, right? Nothing about me, but I'm going to talk about this person, that person, this person, this person, and all the shit that they did. You really want to be that guy? Because everybody was just like, ugh. I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't want to talk to her after that book came out. And a lot of people didn't want to talk to her after the book came out that she never even met yet, right? That she never met before. It's now like, I don't know if I want to talk to you because you might make another book. And we're like, I don't know. There's something called grace, right? Obviously, y'all was sending up the wazoo. Why are you doing all of that? I don't know her truth, right? And I can't judge her for it. It's not my story to tell. What I'm just trying to say is it's better to take the beam out of your own eye, the log out of your eye, and trying to get the beam out of somebody else's eye. Because you don't know everybody's story. You don't know why everybody does what they do. You don't know the reasoning behind what they do, right? I have people that hate my guts. I don't know the reasoning on why they do it. I don't know. It baffles my mind. Everybody has problems. They have huge problems. Huge. And they hate my guts. And I don't know why. It'd be like, I'll be too consumed with my problem. But, to teach his own. But I don't know their process of thinking. I don't know what they went through as to why they feel the way that they do. So it's just like, it just got to chuck it up to the L, right? Chuck it up to the games. So, hey, it is what it is. God bless you. I'm praying for you. Because, hey, we all need prayers. So it gets on to the point of when I decided to tell my story, and when I decided God was finally pushing me to do this, I'm pretty sure God was not intending for me to say, yeah, do a tell all book and tell everybody all the stuff that everybody did. No, he was just like, tell them what I taught you. And a lot of them teachers was, shit, I had to see it within myself. What did I do wrong? What did I mess up? What did I learn? What did I get right from the beginning? What did I get right towards the very end? It was it was very, 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 very little about what other people did. And I try to keep it as generalized and honored people as much as possible, because they're still human beings. We all fuck up. I've made mistakes to somebody, and some people have made mistakes towards me. So it's just like, yo, I really don't want someone to sit here saying, and then Toya did this, and then Toya did that, and da-da-da-da-da, and I can't even defend myself. That's horrible. I don't want to be that guy. So I really am like, I fight my hardest not to do that to somebody else. Because it's foul to put someone, to demonize someone, and they cannot even defend themselves. That's evil. It's just like, yeah, I feel uncomfortable. I'm going to leave now because that person's not even here. Like, if they heard the way you was talking about them, they're not even here to say anything. They can't even say anything. It's just like, yeah. I'll be like, I don't know who this person is. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm leaving. Like, you be as cordial as possible. You know, if something's really outlandish, I'll be like, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And they either will laugh it off, but it's like, I meant the words. Don't do that. Or it'll just be, wow, that's wild. Oh my God. Yeah. And I'll keep it moving. I'm not going to go back the next day. So what they say now? I'm not going to keep it going because people talk about me left and right all day long. Number one topic of the whole fucking world of their day. And they leave me no room to defend myself. They rather just talk. So I don't want to do that to anybody else. So I'm waiting to get to that. I'm waiting to see that point where people start to see within. And they start focusing their conversations on within, because people can definitely look inside and be like, yeah, I did do that, but it's too embarrassing, right? Or it hurts their argument of getting their point validated or correct, right? Within the other debatable party. When in all actuality, it was never a debate. It strictly is a conversation. Now, this is coming from a person that loves debating. I love me some debating. Okay? You want to talk about philosophy? You want to talk about what? Psychology? You want to talk about what? We would debate all day, brother. But when it comes to your life, when it comes to your experiences, when it comes to your feelings, when it comes to your pain, I am not going to be that person that's like, well, I went through this and men do this and men do that, or women do this and women do that. I'm not going to be that guy because it's your pain. And pain deserves to be validated. If I start shutting your story down by giving you a story for me or trying to top it, you ever talk to somebody that you're going through something, you're talking to them, and you tell them, what you're going through, and that person says something even bigger, and you're like, wow, I feel like I should just shut the fuck up. Maybe it's your day, You feel completely invalidated. So it's just like, I'm not talking to you no more because you don't even want to listen to me. And sometimes you just have to let it out. So I'm not going to be that dick, right? I'm not going to be that person that's going to be like, nah, I'm not going to do that. When people talk about their grievances, the stuff that they go through, their pain. Obviously, some relationships, a lot of relationships have pain intertwined in them. They're weaved into them. They're like a quilt of someone's life. You're being a real asshole if it's, well, you women do this and you women do that, right? That's like, and then just don't slap it off with, I'm sorry you went through that, but. There's no but. If you're like, I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry. I completely understand what pain feels like. Something. But don't do no tell-all. Because then after that, you just look like a dick. You just look like a straight asshole. And, I don't know. That's just my thoughts, though. I don't know. I really wish that conversation went differently. But I'm happy the conversation's even happening at all. Because it used to never be like, it used to just be, when the argument did happen, it would happen between the person and their partner, right? And they'll have like a big argument or some shit between them. And they'll have, both parties will leave. The men will talk amongst their other brethren, and the women would talk amongst their sisterhood. And then they would all be like, this party ain't shit. And for this, that, and that reasons. But it's now becoming more popular where people are having opposites in a conversational setting and really talking about shit that hits the fan, like real life stuff. And I'm so proud of how far we're coming, how far we've come. Because I'm in it too. My thing is like, it's not a dialogue, mine's more like a monologue, but it's still a conversational piece. I don't know. I can't wait to see how it progresses. And hopefully it progresses in a more positive light.